न भूमिर्न तोयं न तेजो न वायुः न खं नेन्द्रियं वा न तेषां समूहः अनैकान्तिकत्वात् सुषुप्त्येकसिद्धः तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम् तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम्।
नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यः हरि ओम। उपासकानां यदुपासनीयम् उपात्तवासं वटशाखिमूले तद्धामदाक्षिण्यजुषा स्वमूर्त्यां जागर्तुचित्ते मम बोधरूपम् अद्राक्षमक्षीणदयानिधानम् आचार्यम् आद्यं वटमूलभागे मौनेन मन्दस्मितभूषितेन महर्षिलोकस्य तमोनुदन्तं विद्राविताशेषतमोगणेन मुद्रा विशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनां निरस्य मायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महान् तत्त्वमसीति बोधम्। ममाद्यदेवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात् कृतसन्निधानः ओङ्काररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तमपाकरोतु कलाभिरिन्दोरिव कल्पिताङ्गं मुक्ताकलापैः इव बद्धमूर्तिम् आलोकये देशिकम् अप्रमेयम् अनाद्यविद्यातिमिरप्रभातम् स्वदक्षजानुस्थितवामपादं पादोदरालङ्कृतयोगपट्टम् अपस्मृतेः आहितपादम् अङ्गे प्रणौमि देवं प्रणिधानवन्तं तत्त्वार्थम् अन्ते वसतां ऋषीणां युवापि यः सन् उपदेष्टुमीष्टे प्रणौमितं प्राक्तनपुण्यजालैः आचार्यम् आश्चर्यगुणाधिवासम् एकेन मुद्रां परशुं करेण चान्येन मृगं दधानः स्वजानुविन्यस्तकरः पुरस्तात् आचार्यचूडामणिराविरस्तु। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयम्। As the Chaturmasya Swadhyaya Yajna, for all these days we had Sankaracharya's life and teachings as the subject. We started this parampara as only teaching Vivekachudamani. But life of Sankaracharya, spontaneously we started narrating Bhagavad Pada's life story. So we have almost come to the conclusion of that katha. All the important incidents we have covered. And yesterday we saw the Yogatārāvali. Which is a very profound work on yoga. Yoga in the sense, it is Atma Vidya only. It is Raja Yoga and Atma Vidya. We have here Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi saying Mahayoga. The Mahayoga is the yoga of self-inquiry, is termed as Mahayoga. So the same comes in this Yogatārāvali also. The power of a contact with a sage. What does it do? It just turns your mind inward, antarmukha. Because as long as the mind is outward, it is extroverted, it is impossible to experience the truth within. And without the outer force of Satsang, contact with a sage, and without the grace of the inner being, both are needed. Sankaracharya in Bhagavad Gita Bhashya says, this jnanam is very easy for those who have these two things. One is Guru Prasada and the second is Atma Prasada. From outside, the grace of Guru, which pushes the mind inward, and from within, the grace of the inner one, the inner center, which pulls the mind inward and makes it subside in the heart. Labdha Guruvatma Prasadanam Nataf Param Suvijnayam Swasannataramasti. As he says in Gita Bhashya, Labdha Guruvatma Prasadanam, those who have got the prasada, the grace of Guru and Atma. Nothing is more simple, direct, immediate, nearby, intimate than this truth. So turning the mind inward, sometimes devotees will come to see Bhagavan with doubt. By merely sitting there, all their doubts will be dispelled. It has happened in innumerable cases. Very great scholars like Dr. Mees, whom our Bhanu Sharma brought. He himself told me that story, that Maurice Friedman told me to take Dr. Mees to Bhagavan, introduce him to Bhagavan. So I took him there. He is Sundareshwara Iyer's son, Bhanu Sharma. So he said, I was in Bangalore, I took Dr. Mees to Bhagavan. He wanted to ask many questions. By about 9:30 in the morning we reached. I told Bhagavan, very casually I told Bhagavan, he has many things to ask you. And the mannerism of Bhagavan they very easily imitate. He said, Bhagavan just, without even making a noise, he just said, Simply with his hands he said, sit. So they sat, that's all. No question, nothing to answer. Till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, he was sitting quiet. It is not about sitting quiet. The doubts were all dispelled. Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam. Chitram Vatataror Mule Vruddha Shishya Gurur Yuva Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chinna Samshayaha. Guru remains in Maunam and all the doubts of the disciples are dispelled, including the doubter. The doubter I also vanishes. The ego also disappears, the mind vanishes, only that pure glow of awareness, truth. So that is Bhagavan's initiation. That is Dakshinamurti Vidya. Dakshinamurti's initiation. See, in Lalita Sahasranamam is a Shastra in itself. It's a scripture. It's not simply names of Divine Mother. It's a scripture in itself. There all the Shakta Tantras are told. Shri Vidya Tantras are there. Many methods, prakriyas which can take you to realization is there. Many Vidyas. And the highest Vidya that they say is Dakshinamurti Vidya. This Dakshinamurti Vidya is this Mauna. No outward mantra, no Upadeśa, no discourse, nothing. Just the disciple sits in the presence of the master and something walks from master to the disciple, unseen by others. Rahastarpana tarpitayai namaha. Some secret transmission happens. And the person who receives it, he recognizes it. The person from whom it happens, he also recognizes it. And that is more important. That recognition of the realization. The self is always real. It is shining forth within as aparoksham. Yes, sakshat aparokshat brahma. It is immediate, direct, more splendorous than the outer sun. Because even to see the sun, you need the senses, eyes. But to recognize the self, you don't need the eyes or the ears or anything. It is shining by its own light. It is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha. And that recognition happens. You don't focus the eyes. You don't consciously, with tremendous will, control the mind. No special place or time or space. No pranayama. No holding of any form or meditation. Naturally that Raja Yoga blossoms within. Na drishti lakshyani, na chitta bandhaha, na deshakalau. See, you cannot predict where it will happen. You cannot predict where it will happen. Any place it can happen. Sometimes in Bhagavan's presence, this yoga will happen in kitchen. In ashrama, many had that experience while they were cooking. Bhagavan will go there. There the Upadeśa will happen. So, na desha kalau na chavayurodhaha, na dharana dhyāna parishramo va. No effort to meditate or focus. Samedhavane sati raja yoge. And what does it do? Aham mamatvadi apahaya sarvam. When that focus, inner attention turns towards the I thought, which is the center of mind. The mind is I thought. The mind expresses itself as I, as the ego, as I, mine. Aham mama. I, and when it is turned towards this book, this is mine. When it is turned towards a person, he belongs to me or she belongs to me. My money, my body, mamatva. When the I is understood as unreal, When you inquire within and see that the very I thought is not real, the mamata, mindness also vanishes. Aham mamatvati apahaya sarvam. And what happens? Rajayoge sthitamanasana, the mind achieves a deep quietude within. See, very beautiful word in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. It comes once in a while, the mind becomes quiet. Then again, people, when they come to, sometimes they come to Tiruvannamalai, Ramanacharanatirtha, Bhagavan's presence, they feel very happy. Mind is quiet. But after some time it goes. Not like that. Nirvichara Vaisharadya, as Patanjali puts it in Yoga Sutra, Nirvichara Vaisharadya. The state of thoughtlessness becomes very, very habituated. You become habituated to it. You become familiar with it. It becomes natural to you. Nirvichara Vaisharadya. So when that skill of remaining in the thoughtless state comes, Nadrashtrita Nasticha Drishyabhavaha, nothing to see, no seer. Sajrumbade Kevala Samvideva, in the heart there is only that pure consciousness which shines forth as I. We say I, but it is the uninterrupted existence, Akhanda Satchidananda. Netre Yayonmesha Nimesha Shunye. You can see this in video of Bhagavan. You see Bhagavan video, you can see his eyes are open, no flickering, no closing the eyes or opening the eyes, just still. Vayur Yaya Varjita Rechapuraha. And what about the mind? Sankalpa Vikalpa Shunyam. Mind is not imagining, no image making, no doubting, no flow of too much forms, names there, and then that manonmani, that yoga sthiti comes. But this kind of yoga state will not stand if your senses are not in order. That is the problem. People sometimes they come, they get some glimpse, but what? How will it stay? After that, what will you do? You disturb it with all outer activities. There is no order inside. So again the person falls back to sensory plane. The yoga will Sravati Amaghadambuvat. Bhagavata says, Indriya Laulyena Jnanam Sravati Amaghadambuvat. Like a pot which has holes. If you pour milk inside, through those holes the milk will go out. Like that, even if you get a glimpse, if the senses are not perfectly controlled, that yoga will go out like milk stored inside a pot with many holes. So Chittendriyanam Chiranigrahena. That is why the preparation is so important. By bhakti, by guru seva, by yoga, by karma yoga, and by orderly life, dharmic life, the senses and mind are put to order, and the breath is also very, very disciplined. In such a person, that jnana, that realization remains like a flickerless flame kept in a windless space. Nivata deepaiva nishalangaha. Manonmani magnadhiyo bhavanti. They get absorbed in that inner self. Another help also Bhagavad Pada gives here. This is the inner attainment. When you do self-enquiry, when you do who am I, Bhagavan's teaching is so clear, very real, very simple. Just when the thoughts come, ask to whom the thoughts are coming. It is all for me, I. And what is this I? What is this feeling of I? Just you turn inward and searching for the I. and then trace the I thought, the feeling of I thought to the source, you find that the I thought merges in the heart, something else reveals itself, which is infinite, which is existence, which is awareness, which is whole, which is eternal, uninterrupted in waking, dream and deep sleep. Aham sarvatmatva mahavibhuti, that is it. So that anubhava comes in the heart. And when you come back to the world, just a divine indifference comes in the person. For a sadhaka, he has to train himself for that indifference. In Sanskrit, the term is udasina. And generally we translate it as indifference. But actually it is not indifference. A better translation is not available. I think better translation is third person. In the sense, the first person and second person are connected. Third person has nothing to do with. He is just watching. You see somebody fighting in the road, you watch. In between them there is some problem. You have no connection with the first person or the second person. In the same way, if you can live in your family also, no problem will come as a third person. Grihe atitivad vaset, as Bhagavata puts it, stay in your own house like a guest, not like ghost. In your own house, if you can stay like a guest, you do everything, help them, but you don't belong to this place. You have no attachment. Then that person is free. So this is udasina bhava. Train yourself to attain that. Never get attached anywhere. If you want this inner yoga to flower, don't get attached to anything. Even to the ashrama of Guru, even to any temple, even to the outer form of Guru. Guru Bhakti also should be as Guru is Ishvara, Brahman. He is Brahma Vastu. In that bhava you worship, don't get attached to anything, then the inner one will blossom. Otherwise, when you try to meditate, whatever you are attached to, that will sprout inside. Angelam Bhagat. Unmanyavastadhigamaya vidvan. For the mind to stay in the heart, that is the language of Bhagavan, right? That is the language of Bhagavan. Bhagavan says, when yoga blossoms, when the mind stays in the heart. There is a center within you which is called Hridayam, heart. When the mind enters there consciously, yoga blooms. That Shanti, Samadhi happens. But if you are attached to anything, it is impossible. Ramakrishna's consort, Sharda Devi, she used to say, if you want to put a thread inside the needle hole, even if one small thread is protruding, you cannot put it. So it should be completely one-pointed. That we will learn when we try to put the mind in the heart. We will find that so many objects to which we are attached are pulling it outside. Ruthlessly you have to remove them. No other way. It's not a play. Anything that's, because it is a question of life and death. Arul Poratam, as Bhagavan uses the word. It is a question whether grace will win or Maya will win. Anyway, we are free. But these two forces are fighting. When the grace is pulling you inward, Maya is pulling you outward in the name of many things. You will have so many reasons to get attached to a person, a object, an idea, an ideal. But remember, for anything, whatever may be. See, these Gopikas, they got attached to Krishna. Bhagavata. Krishna found they are not understanding. They know that Krishna is Atma, but still they were attached. Then what did he do? Nanandasunuhu kshanabhanga sauhrdaha. You know what he did? He just left Vrindavan and never came back. He went to Mathura. And these Gopikas, they are also strange. They have so much love, but they didn't follow him because they know that he is their own self. Nakhalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan Akila Dehinam Antaratmatruk Vikhana Sartido Vishwaguptaye Sakhauteivan Satvatam Kule. So, for doing good to them, he just left them. Otherwise, anything to which you are attached outside, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, it is one form of death, which is waiting there to trap you. Anything to which you are outwardly caught will make you suffer, whether it is mother, father, son, daughter, money. Bhagavata Rishabhadeva says, Gururna sasyat, Jananina sasyat, Patishcha nasyat, Daivam na tatsyat, Patishcha sasyat, Patirna sasyat, Jananina sasyat. Like that, Rishabhadeva says, he whom you consider as your husband or wife, or son, or daughter, or even as Guru, or even as God outside, because of which your mind is becoming extroverted, because mind extroverted is the direct road to death, mind introverted is the direct road to immortality. Amritam jaiva mrityuscha sadasachaham arjuna. Mrityu is outside, amritam is here in the heart. So anything that pulls you out, namochayedya samupeta mrityum. If it is not releasing you, you are getting caught. So be alert, be careful, be watchful, says Rishabhadeva in Bhagavata. So here Bhagavad-pada says, Pashyan udasinataya cha vishwam. Become indifferent. Look, behave as the third person. Don't make anything, give any spot inside you for anything to sit inside other than God. That is your own inner being. Sankalpam unmulaya. Root out this brooding, which is the result of attachment. The mind broods over things due to attachment. Root it out. How should I do? Savadhana, in a gentle way, slowly. See, sometimes these birds, especially this woodcutter, sometimes it will get caught in jackfruit tree. Some jackfruit milk will be there, its leg will get caught in that. And it's a scene for us to watch. It will sit there and with the big beak, it will slowly cut that milk, caught in its leg. One by one, little by little, it will remove that and just fly away. Like that, savadhana, slowly, in a gentle way, one by one, remove the shrubs of attachment that has caught you. And fly in the Chidakasha. Prasahya sankalpa paramparanam sambhedane santata savadhanam alambanashad niralambam tannaye palagu. In Devikalottaram, Bhagavan says, when the mind has no support, nothing to hold, what will it do? It will sit in the self. It will abide in its true nature. So, shanaihi shanti mupaiti chetaha. The more and more there is nothing for it to wonder about, the mind slowly will attain the supreme peace, that profound peace of Atmanubhuti, and that is Amanaska Mudra, the state of no mind, that state of mindlessness. Avirbhavantim Amanaska Mudram. You see a Jivan Mukta, in him you will see this state. Avirbhavantim Amanaska Mudram Alokayamaha Munipungavanam. So this yoga, Bhagavan gave us the path of Atma Vichara. Make the mind turn inward, Antarmukha. Here Bhagavad Pada says Pratyak Vimarsha. Pratyak Vimarsha means the mind trained to inquire, flow inward. The current of the mind is towards the heart. The mind is constantly flowing towards the heart, holding to the aham, I. Because that is the only thing we are sure about. And our mind, when it spreads out as I thought. My life, I want this, I want that, this I. So you catch hold of that thought and inquire, what is this thought? What is the nature of this I thought? Then you find that the I thought is not real. Instead, you find the infinity there expressing itself as I. But that expression, that glimpse becomes steady only when the smell of worldliness is gone away. Prachina gandheshu palayiteshu. That prachina gandha means smell. When that is all gone, then arises that divine slumber. Ajadya nidra, the divine sleep, that yoga samadhi. So, this becomes permanent. Nirantara abhyasa nitanta bhadra. By constant practice, it becomes stable in the yogi. He finds great inner fulfillment and rest. Chittam kulira. This Bhagavan uses the word in Aksharamanamala. Chittam kulira. The mind attains great coolness. Vishrantim asadya turiya talpe. It finds great Vishranti. Vishranti means rest. It finds rest in the fourth dimension, not the Jagrat, waking, dream or deep sleep. Samvinmayim kamapi sarvakalam nidram sakhe nirvisha nirvikalpam. If you get that rest, you don't need outer sleep. When Bhagavan had his cancer, doctors used to advise him, Bhagavan, you should lie down and sleep. Bhagavan said, you go and sleep. I have enough rest in that. I don't want any outer rest. So the Vishranti in the Atma, in Swarupa is enough for me. So Vishrantim asadya turiya talpe. So thus this yoga nidra, this yoga samadhi, Shankara Bhagavatpada had the deep rest in his real being. After that, the group moved. Acharya and group moved on from Marunganagara. We are continuing the story a little. Not much is there now. Of course, in Atmatirtham you will find more stories. But the significant portion is over. So, traveling through several places, Acharya propagated Vedic Dharma. Generally, Bhagavad-pada gave the teaching of Atma Vidya. Bhagavan did not teach everybody to do enquiry, meditation like that. He just remained quiet. Some people, Bhagavan said, you can go round the hill. Bhagavan used to give some book, you read every day. There was one very intellectual lady, Kamakshi. Her name is Kamakshi. She is actually the daughter of Munagala Venkatramaiah, Ramanananda Saraswati later on. He is the author of talks. He is the what can we say? Compiler of talks. So his daughter. So she was an intellectual giant, thorough in Vedanta. One day Bhagavan called her Kamakshi. They were all like children for Bhagavan. And nearby Bhagavan had a bookshelf, a rolling bookshelf. So he asked her to pick one book from that, Bhagavatam. It's about bhakti. And she was not of that type. She was intellectual. But Bhagavan asked her to take Bhagavatam. Sometimes, if you give some book to somebody to read, they will take it and no reading. They will not read. So he said, sit here and read. Sit here and read. So every day she had to sit there and read that. So that was sadhana for her. For certain people, he said, do this japam. Sometimes panchakshara, yes, said to very rare people. And one person caught hold of Bhagavan's feet and said, Bhagavan, give me some Upadeśa. He was Bhagavan's childhood friend. His name was Mani Iyer. And an adjective was also added to his name. He was called Pokri Mani, mischievous Mani. So he caught hold of Bhagavan's feet and give me some Upadeśa. Bhagavan said, Mani, leave me, Bhagavan said. Shiva Shiva Sumairu. Keep quiet. It's a usual saying in Tamil actually. They say, Shiva Shiva. And he caught hold of that Nama and said, oh, Bhagavan has initiated me, like Kabir. He caught that Nama and said, Shiva Shiva, Shiva Shiva, Shiva Shiva, Shiva Shiva. From that moment onwards, he started chanting Shiva Shiva, Shiva Shiva, Shiva Shiva. He attained great spiritual heights. So, whoever is in whatever stage, Bhagavan said, that is enough for you. Aduve poru. But very ripe souls, sometimes they got initiated by Bhagavan's Mauna. Bhagavan's Mauna was like a cloud which has heavy downpour of Jnanam. If you are receptive to it, you will get the water. You will get initiated by it. So, such people, they got initiated into inquiry by that presence. Attention was turned inward and the Chinmudra shone forth in their heart as aham, aham, I, the current of I. So, that is the initiation. That is real initiation. Inward mantra japa, no outward mantra japa. The mantra of Atma is this mudra. So that gives them great shanti, peace. So, whoever is in whatever position, for them that Upadesha. Generally, in our Sampradaya also, you need your Swadharma as karma, you need an Upasana, and if you have Yogyata, maturity, you need Jnana Upadesham also. So, Bhagavad Pada also did that. General public, he gave Upadesha for Panchayatana Puja. This Panchayatana Puja is Puja of Shiva or Vishnu as the main deity. And you can have other deities also around, like Divine Mother, Devi, Ganapati, Surya, sometimes Subramanya also, Kumara, and Vishnu. Sometimes it is Vishnu Panchayatana, sometimes it is Shiva Panchayatana. So this kind of, because they need something to hold. Some mantra, some upadesha, some puja sampradaya is given. So that the mind attains purity and becomes receptive to the higher jnanam. So thus propagating, you need, if you have to be an acharya, you need all this. For some majority of the people, sometimes see, you go to a doctor for headache. He gives you a big book about headache. Read this book, it contains every detail about headache. And your headache becomes permanent. Instead, what does he do? Write something. Nobody can read. It's a miracle that the medical person is able to read it. There is a story that one person was going from one place to another. Somebody said, this address, this colony, this house, this name. In English he wrote. So neither could he read, nor could anybody in that area read it. So he took it to the medical shop. And he told the medical person, can you direct me which is this house? He said, for whom? He said, for me. He kept it there inside, brought a strip of tablet. He said, morning one, afternoon one, night one, after food. This is how they are giving medicine. I don't know. So sometimes, anyway, so you need some simple method by which you can hold on till the maturity comes, right? You come to Tiruvannamalai, directly very rarely people enter into the teaching. They go to Giri Pradakshanam, they go to temple, get hit there, 7 hours standing in queue. Arunachala is giving you vairagyam, virakti. So they were moving about, entered a village to take some rest. You have to see the picture, no? Sankaracharya with almost, see the story says, by the time now, it is almost about 6,000 people following him. You just imagine. It's about 6,000 people, almost thousands of monks. About 6,000 disciples, devotees, family men, all are there. So a very intelligent brahmachari came to Acharya. He was resting under a huge tree. Very beautiful. That is the way, no? Travel now, no huge tree, no tree in the roadside. All dirty. See, Tiruvannamalai also, because of crowd, you cannot sit any corner. It is great joy to sit under some tree and meditate. You don't need any lodge, hotel, nothing. And mosquitoes also were not there, perhaps. No mention of that. So, a brahmachari, a very radiant brahmachari came to Acharya and said, Lord, I am a brahmachari. I have completed Vedic studies and lead my life as per the dictates of the Shastras. I am unable to understand how Brahmavidya can lead one to liberation as you proclaim. Please bless me. Bhagavad had a beautiful conversation with him. This boy was receptive. He asked, please give me the Upadesha. Acharya asked him, Kastvam, who are you? Bhagavan used to ask many, who is the doubter? Who are you? What is your nature? The brahmachari said, I am Devadatta. That was his name. Devadattohamasmi. I am Devadatta. That is the name given to you by your father or mother after your birth, generally on the 12th day. So previous to that, I was a child, now a brahmachari. Oh, that is the name of your ashrama. After Upanayana, you become brahmachari. The initiation into Gayatri mantra, then you become brahmachari. Till then, no ashrama. The child has no ashrama. So now you are brahmachari. What are you? I am asking you, who are you? I am the person whom you see, indicated by the word you. Very clever answer. That Yushmat Pratyaya Pratinidhana. So, when you say you, I am that. Then Bhagavad asked him, for me it is so. I say you. What does you mean? See, very mysterious, This is, if I say this tumbler, you will see this glass. If I say mala, mala is, you can imagine. So too, if I say fan, you can imagine. If I say cow, you can imagine. If I say he, you can imagine. When I say you, what do you imagine? What do you feel? When I say mango, it is mango. But when I say you will think some you. When I say you, your feeling is I. So in no language in the world, this you has any meaning. You is meaningless. It is impossible to have any meaning because you is meaningless for the person to whom it is addressed. When I say you, it is meaningless for you because you feel I. 3 persons are there. First person, second person, third person. The third person is uncontactable. You cannot contact him. Right? When you contact him, he becomes the second person, you. He is, you have not contacted. When you are contacting, it is you. But when you search for the you, it is I. So, he becomes you, you becomes I, and you search the I, it is not there. So what happened? Grammar is wrong. All waste. No asmat pratyaya, no yushmat pratyaya, nothing. So, here Acharya asks, for myself I am that which is denoted by the term I. What is the difference between the terms you and I? The term Lord, the term I denotes myself, it is my experience. You indicate something that is seen, just a name and form. Yes, you are intelligent. The I is Swayam Prakasha, self-effulgent. You is darkness which is imperceptible without the senses. I is the name of the conscious self, and you represents everything other than that. They are mutually exclusive, like darkness and light. Superimposition of objects and dharmas denoted by the term Yushmat on conscious self denoted by the term I is called Adhyasa. Vedantins call this Avidya. Contrary to this, knowing the true nature of the I is called Vidya. In short, knowing who am I is knowledge. Mistaking the I as this or that is ignorance, avidya. Then the brahmachari said, Bhagavan, but everyone experiences the I. Yes, but its real meaning is not understood. The I is regarded as diverse objects like the body, prana and mind, only by the knowledge gained through contemplation on the meaning of Vedanta will one recognize that Aham, the I, really stands for the ever pure, eternal, free, conscious self. It is with this aim that the enquiry is done. The Shastras and the words of Guru are aids to Vichara. Vedanta Shastra is Jnata Jnapaka. It is the revelation of the ever revealed. The truth is already shining forth within you as the existence, as I am. Even in a dark room, you sit, you have the full experience of I am within you. And that is limited by the superimposition of body, mind, ego on it. In deep sleep every day we experience the bodilessness, mindlessness, egolessness. But again you cherish to go there because there is pure happiness, which is our real nature, which is our Swarupa. And that is pure, extremely pure, never attached. It is Asanga. This teaching was given to that brahmachari. He recognized the truth and there was a glow in his face. He attained a glimpse of the truth in the presence of Acharya. Now Acharya's followers grew larger and larger in number. Just as the river Bhagirathi starts from Gomukh, expands vastly by time, she reaches Kashi due to the merging of big and small rivers and streams such as Alakananda and Mandakini. Acharya's group also has become vast. Resuming the journey, the group reached Jagannathapuri. The rulers there belonged to the Kesari dynasty. Although due to their efforts, Vedic beliefs were quite strong here, the influence of the Buddhist faith still lingered. Acharya and disciples stayed within the temple precincts. The other followers camped in tents on the seashore. Jagannathapuri is on the seashore. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life is also very closely linked to Jagannathapuri. Here Padmapada gave Upadesha to the visitors. At that time, there was no stone or wooden idol in the temple. Now it is wooden idol. Every 12 years, they will redo it. People said that the ancient idol of Jagannatha was placed in a jewel box and buried on the banks of Lake Chilka, the Chilka Tadaka. for fear of foreign invasion. This has occurred many times. But it could not be traced afterwards. Therefore, worship was performed to a salagrama. Even now they have that box. When we were writing this, we had to inquire, to check with the details. So we had a talk with one of the chief priest of Jagannathapuri temple to check about the details. So after completing the morning Anushtana, so all the Brahmins there, they told that the real idol of Jagannatha was immersed in the, not in the Tataka, on the bank of Tataka. So Acharya mentally worshipped Jagannatha. Some local citizens arrived there, paid obeisance to Acharya. And they said, "We are fortunate to have your darshana. O Yogeshwara, kindly bless us by retrieving the divine idol of Jagannatha. So many years have passed since the disappearance of the idol. Only some elderly men like us know about this. Once we pass away, even this message, many do not know that the real idol is hidden somewhere. So please be gracious." Acharya said, "When you all have such an auspicious sankalpa, wish, it will surely be fulfilled by Lord's will. Be patient." After remaining absorbed in meditation for a while, Acharya composed an incredibly beautiful hymn with the refrain, "Jagannatha Swami Nayanapathagami Bhavatu Me." This is beautiful. Mahambodhe Tire Kanakaruchire Neela Shikhare Vasan Prasadantah Sahajabala Bhadrena Balinam Subhadra Madhyastha Sakala Sura Seva Vasaradaha Jagannatha Swami Nayanapathagami Bhavatu Me. Let that Jagannatha Swami come to my vision. Wherever he is, let me find him out. Jagannatha Swami Nayanapathagami Bhavatu Me. Before long, Acharya had a vision of a particular spot on the banks of the lake. Wow, what an incarnation. He told the devotees, "Find the biggest banyan tree on the banks of the lake. Dig at the base of that tree. The box with the idol of Jagannatha will be retrieved." That very day, the servants of the king and the local people spotted the place and started digging. Exactly as Acharya had said, the precious box was obtained. The king of Jagannathapuri arrived there and thousands of people gathered at the spot. It turned out to be a grand festival. Like Jai Jai Jagannatha, Jai Jai Shankara echoed everywhere. The idol of Jagannatha was placed in a chariot and the procession went to the presence of Acharya, with the king walking ahead, leading the procession. A palanquin was sent to Acharya to take Acharya to the temple at the time of installation. In keeping with sannyasa dharma, Acharya did not accept it. He walked to the temple and performed the installation ceremony. The people were overjoyed. Acharya prescribed the rituals of worship and said that in future Jagannathapuri would become a center for Advaitic knowledge. From here, Acharya's group proceeded towards Magadha. That is also a Mokshapuri, Jagannathapuri. So that we have the Puri Mat, Dwaraka Mat, Joshi Mat, Badri, Sringeri Mat, and Kanchi, also a big center of Advaita. So many places Acharya, where he installed deity, where he started Mat, we can go on arguing about these things. We can never find. Yasyasma Shishyairitam, that Sureshwaracharya says, so many disciples, perhaps so many places, wherever he went, there would have been a spiritual center. So Jagannathapuri, he worshipped Jagannatha, and Rajagriha is situated at the southern end of the vast state of Magadha. In ancient times it was called Dakshina Kosala. This place is significant in the history of India, not only for political reasons, but also because of Lord Buddha's association with it. In the Mahabharata, it is stated as the capital of Jarasandha. Proceeding northwest, Acharya and his followers reached Magadha. That is one of the biggest empire in India. Even in Mahabharata time also, it was the biggest empire. During Alexander's invasion also, it was the biggest empire. The story goes that Alexander came to what is that place? No. He entered India. First it was that Ambi. His empire. From there he entered to the Purushottama's area. It is porous, they call porous. So when he crossed that, is the Jalam river? Jhelum river. So when they crossed the river, they were for a shock, because they were very powerful people, but they found a mysterious thing, because elephants are there to fight. They never expected that. They had very difficult time there, although they won. And the story goes, by giving shake hand to Porus, Alexander returned. Now the new historians who uncover the story, it is not that simple. The person got completely injured when he was going back, and he had about, suppose, 50,000 people with him. This Porus had only 35,000 or something. This Magadha at that time had more than 100,000 of this cavalry, and so much elephantry and horse, so much big military power. So actually he didn't dare to enter there. That is the story that they say now, because very powerful it was. In those days it was like that, and on the way, of course, he died also. So this Magadha was very powerful. It was a very huge country. Even in Mahabharata time, when Dharmaputra, Yudhishthira had to perform Rajasuya, Krishna said, what Rajasuya without winning Jarasandha? We will go and fight. Krishna said, no, don't go with the army, it is dangerous. We will 3 go and win. And the story is, Krishna, Arjuna and Bhima went there in the disguise of 3 Brahmins and invited Jarasandha for a boxing. That is how they got it. So anyhow, so Magadha, that is epic fame. Then Buddha moved maximum there. So he spoke the language Magadhi. It is a dialect of Pali, what we call Apabhramsha. It's an Apabhramsha. Pali itself is an Apabhramsha, and this is another form of Pali which is called Magadhi. So in that language only Buddha spoke. And he maximum travelled in Magadha, and especially Rajagriha, Vaishali, Kausambi, and in that border, Nepal area, that up to that area he has walked. He used to walk. So Acharya and his followers reached Magadha. Worshippers of Indra and Kubera, Buddhists and Jains and many others who came to debate with Acharya were all convinced of the highest Advaita Jnana. The Guru who had then there, they have met many kind of people like yoga teachers, Buddhists, so many people. So Thus they stayed for some days in Magadha. From Magadha, Acharya and group arrived at Yamaprasthanapura. These are all old names. Thus the group is traveling. We will continue the story tomorrow. Some more, perhaps 2 or 3 more days, we will finish this narration of Sankaracharya's life. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala